back at it. I'm going to put the number 4 cylinder on. Now I'll get the gasket. And I'm not going to put sealer on the other side of this gasket. And I'll tell you in a minute why. Hopefully I'm lifting this one for the very last time. I think they were lighter 6 or 7 years ago when I took them off. There. And hopefully that one won't be coming off again. Boy, does that look good. Now, I'll tell you why I didn't put gasket sealer on there. Some of you may already know why I didn't put gasket sealer on there. Because, as you can see, that cylinder will move on the stud somewhat. And I do not want to tighten the cylinder down tight until I'm ready to put this water manifold on loosely to help to get the best alignment of the water manifold onto the cylinders. And if I put that sealer on both sides of the gasket, I might not be able to move that cylinder. So the cylinder, I'm going to put the nuts on and just let the cylinder just snugged a little bit until that water manifold is ready to go on. So let's get the nuts. That's a good looking sight. Now I have to get the piston and rod assembly ready to drop in it. And I've come up with a plan for that because that piston rod assembly ain't like one in a car where you can grab the piston with one hand and slowly slide it in and grab the rod on the bottom end with the other hand. But I've devised a way of putting that in now. Here's my connecting rod, wrist pin. I gotta put the piston on the rod. I weighed these once, but I don't remember what the weight was. I'm gonna weigh them again once, but just not on this first one. Oh, I gotta make sure I put it on the right way. Number 4 is going to there. Wouldn't make a lot of difference on this slow turning motor and different cylinders. So there, and these are the wrist pin keepers go in there, but I'm not going to put those in yet. I'm going to put a coat hanger wire around it, and that'll keep the wrist pin in, and it'll act as a handle for me to lower it in, because these are heavy with a cast iron piston. So now, I said I came up with an idea for putting these in, because you can't just grab the piston in one hand. You see how big they are. Stick it in the top and reach underneath and grab the rod with the other, unless you're maybe a gorilla. So I'm going to show you what I came up with. After a little bit of thinking, it was real simple, and I'm certain it's going to work fine. Let's get it there. Now we're looking at the bottom end of the rod. I made this high-tech tool, and the idea is put this on there. There I have my high-tech tool installed. I have the crankshaft turn so the journal is up. And with this measurement from here to here, I figured it so when I drop the piston in with no rings on it, it should drop into about here when this rests on the crank. And at that point, I could take my wire out, put in the 2 wrist pin keeper caps, and then put on the oil ring and put a compressor on it and slowly turn the crank to get that ring down in. And then when I get to the next ring, I'll put on 1 ring, put a compressor on it, just slowly turn it to get that ring into the cylinder. So I think it should work out good. You know, sometimes I thought about it, and all of a sudden it just, you know, just dawns on you. So I'm going to take this outside and see how it goes. I think I have a little flaw in my plan. I'm sure I don't have enough room between the cylinder and the ceiling to drop that whole long thing in. So I'm going to have to take the rod off of the piston, drop the rod in, and it should be sticking out about this far, and then slide the piston in and put the wrist pin in. So we're going to see how that goes. Yeah, it never would have fit with the piston on it. So now the rod is sitting on the crank. Come on. There. That worked. And look at that. The oil ring groove is only about 1/16 to about 1/8 of an inch above the head gasket surface. Now to put the wrist pin keepers in, they fit snug. There, that one's in flush. I'll put the other one in. And that one's in. Now we'll go for the oil ring. Now I'm going to see if we can find something to compress it with. I'll oil it up. Now I'm going to see if just plain old hose clamps will compress it which I know it will. Oh, it's bent out of shape a little bit. Try and get a little flatter. Seems to be compressed good, and I'm hoping that these screws on each side will keep the clamp from wanting to slip down in alongside the piston. But if it does, I can always take it off and put a little kink in it here on each side would catch too. But now, where's my cranking bar? This is the bar for, this bar was on when I first found the tractor, and I'm sure that's the one they used to start it. So wish me luck here. I'm going to loosen the clamp just a little bit. I'm thinking the ring might be started. No. I'm just going to keep going how I am a little. Oh, another flaw in the plan. With the rod that far up through the hole, the rod can't go sideways. I didn't think of that. The rod's hitting the bottom of the cylinder. So that plan didn't work out. It sounded like a good idea. Oh, I'm just going to have to do it different. I'm going to see if that started to go in at all. No, not in at all. Well, I'm going to take that ring back off before I do anything, so I don't go and break that ring. I have extra compression ring, but I don't have any extra oil rings. I was so confident about that, and I just didn't think of that problem. So I think I'm going to pull the piston up, set the bottom piston on the lip of the head, and then see if I can get my blocks off the bottom. Was a good thought, but it just didn't pan out. Well, I got it pulled out, and I've just been thinking about it. I'm gonna a different plan I come up with, but I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to try it. I'm gonna turn that so the journal is all the way down. Then I'm gonna put a 2x4 right straight through here with blocks up to the hole to the rod, and I'll have the 2x4 on blocks spaced up from this frame, and I'll slowly take those blocks out to lower it. So that's going to be my plan, but I'm going to wait till tomorrow to do that. I got to get some firewood around, and this is going to be it for today. So thanks for watching.